Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and we are following a path down the Byrds, tying in with my first ever VC contest. Go to my main VC channel to get the details on that. And going forward with Byrds and Byrds-related artists, we're going to talk about Mr. Graham Parsons and his posthumous second solo album, Grievous Angel, released in January of 1974. Now, the album was recorded in the summer of 1973, and it was released 4 months after his death. He died of a drug-related overdose. Now, this album, like a lot of things that Graham did, immense critical acclaim, didn't do anything commercially, and this kind of was the story of Graham and pretty much everything he did post-Byrds. He was only in the Byrds for a few months, but while he was in that time, his influence was widely felt. Started hanging out with Keith Richards, influenced the Stones greatly, and is widely regarded as one of the founders of country rock, putting country and rock together. But he called this hybrid not country rock, but he called it cosmic American music. Now, this album was listed in the Rolling Stone magazine 500 greatest albums of all time, if that means anything at all to you. Now, the background on this, he had done this tour in the spring and summer of '73. Emmylou Harris was his singing partner. He had some members of Elvis Presley's band, in particularly James Burton and Glenn Hardin. Also brought in guys like Bernie Leadon from the Eagles and Linda Ronstadt, and got together to record this album. Now, his previous album was just called GP. This was a very planned affair, and this had arrangements that had been worked out. And so they went into Wally Heider's studio in Hollywood, and Parsons was producing it. But according to some of the guys that were around, and a lot of stories about Graham, is that he was pretty much in a mess, high and drunk, and just not in any kind of condition to record. And he was out of it a lot of times. He was battling an addiction with heroin as well as alcohol, and he'd pull it together and find himself where he could record, but it was very loose. And when he was in good shape, he would come in and really do well. But by all accounts, he was in really bad shape. He didn't have a lot of material, so he only wrote a couple of songs during the sessions. First is the sort of title track, lead-off track, "Return of the Grievous Angel." And he did "In My Hour of Darkness," which is sounds like an old hymn written with Emmylou Harris. Now, his widow, Gretchen, never really approved of the relationship Graham had with Emmylou Harris. And so the album was originally supposed to be released as both of them. And there was actually a photograph with both Graham and Emmylou that was supposed to go on the front cover. Well, she removed Emmylou Harris, used this cover. And they just put her name on the back with Emmylou Harris on the back cover there. And so she also the track "Sleepless Nights" was removed. And so it was just this sort of rearranged album. And some of the songs like "Sleepless Nights," "The Angels Rejoiced in Heaven Last Night," they came out on the 1976 release. Like I said, didn't really do anything on the charts, but in terms of it being just a far-reaching, influential album, this is really the one to go to. And the title track is just a barn burner. But "Brass Buttons," also written by Graham, $1,000 Wedding, "Hickory Wind," which was done by the Byrds, but also "Las Vegas," another Graham Parsons original. But also his version of "Love Hurts," the Bulow Bryant song, beautiful duet with Emmylou, and "Hearts on Fire," just really strong material. And this is it. This is the definition of Graham Parsons for me. Beautiful mess, rough around the edges, but it holds together. And so, worth a mention in our Birds Talk, Graham Parsons, Grievous Angel. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. Enter the contest. The questions and everything are posted over on the main channel, as well as the first video in this series, the Mr. Tambourine video. Look forward to seeing you all and hearing your responses. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.